Alright, here's my first working prototype of my weight hanger right here. This is temporarily fused together, but it will open up in that seam line there, and they will fill this up with tungsten powder. Here is the new wheel. This is just a dlux faceplate that was used as part of this as the old one. As you can see, that's the old one there, and this is the wheel weight that will go in there. There's a little bearing in there. Now that does not mean that the weight will swing. It stays still. Here we go, a modified brass hub to fit the bearing. Bearing goes on like that. There's the bearing. I've got a small 3D printed sleeve for the back side to keep the bearing retained. It's just friction fit right now, but I will glue it in once it's done. I'll use this other bearing to sort of press them together, like so. So you can see that's the bearing right there. Now we can see right here, now that rolls like that. This hole right here is for locking the rotation. And the wheel here has little screws right here to attach the back side. So we go and attach the front side first onto there, and we can see it swing like that. I'll go and attach just one screw onto here. That. It's got the one screw in there. See right here, this kind of weight will swing through there. That's the bead lock for the front of the wheel, or outside. This right here will be the bead lock for the inside of the wheel, which will use a regular faceplate to bead lock there. And this will go on here like so. Each of those holes right there will screw onto there. These white lines do need to be lined up so that it's clocked correctly, so that it is concentric, because this jig right here was used to fit them together, so that when I welded these two separate pieces together, it was then concentric from the front side to the back side, are now concentric. So that would just go on there, screw on there like that. I won't bore you with that part. Let's show the axle. This is for an F10 axle. So this axle has a modified brass insert on there right there to hold a screw, or a long set screw that will be used to keep the weight clocked. So you can see right here, this will lines up with that hole. So in there like that, like so. And there we go, we can see the wheel turning, but not the weight. Alright, and just kind of, you can see right through there, maybe. Here is the back plate assembled in there with 8 screws, countersunk screws. So now we'll put this wheel in the tire. Right now this is loose in there. Once it goes together, it'll all fit. This is for some ruptures here. I'll 3D print a new tire insert, but for now this is what I'm using. Throw it in there. Now, these do have to stretch over the tires pretty good. So like this, stretch our tire over top this wheel. Like so, stretch it over like that. So I have it sticking out like so, and then I'll slowly turn it this way here. Turn the wheel inside there. Make sure the foam is nice and clear here. And I've domed it on the outside purposely for the new 3D printed insert. There we go. I have that on there. You can feel the sidewalls right there. Maybe a breaking point there, but we'll see in testing. So I'll just fit that on there like that. And this is where we're going to put this on there like so, and then screw that together. There we go. Just going to put 4 screws in here. The back side of this plastic has heat set brass inserts, which you can kind of see on the other side of the wheel there. Messy table, right? Alright, so that's that side. Now for the this side here, the dlux outside wheel. Stretch that a little bit, rotate it to clock it with those set screws there, and I'll go install those. There we go. Just got 3 screws on the outside here for this outer bead lock. So there we go. And nice. Make sure there's no gap on there. All right. Well, looks good there. I'll just take a little wheel hub screw here, line those up. Get in there like that. There we go. I'll just put one in there. That's good enough. There we go. You see our weight hanger rotating around in there. And then that can go on. Just right here. See the little hole? That lines up with the little pin there. So boom. It's on there. Put the wheel nut on. So there's a rupture. No rubbing. Let's check this side right here. Make sure we don't see any rubbing there. Pretty concentric. Not perfect, but let's see how the wheel runs. Wheel runs a little bit wobbly here, but That might just be the foam shifting on there. Once I get my 3D printed inserts designed up for this, should work a lot better. So this is one of the other prototypes. You see it's curved right there. Insert's gonna 3D printed insert's gonna go right on there. This is the old one. Just gonna remove all of that. It's gonna be just this part here, and it's just gonna wrap around this shape right here, keeping it from shifting. Yep, that's it. I was gonna wait for my tungsten powder to fill it up and then do some testing, and then maybe get these printed in SLS nylon or MFJ nylon. One hard part though is that this is very thin, and I think SLS has a problem printing that thin of a shape, so may have to go with MFJ for the nylon 3D print. I don't think I'll be able to get these out of aluminum. Be pretty expensive, but we'll see.